Good afternoon. My name is Matanya Wyzorik. I'm the Vice Chair of the ADA Accessibility Committee. The meeting is now called to order. Welcome to the November 21st, 2024 HART ADA Accessibility Committee meeting. The meeting format is hybrid. Quorum is physically present at the HART Administrative Office, 1201 East 7th Avenue, Florida Conference Room, and the rest of the board members are participating via communication media technology. As a reminder, please raise your hand to be recognized throughout the meeting. Pledge of Allegiance. An image of the flag is displayed. Please stand if you are able to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first action will be for the committee to introduce themselves for the committee and community. Please state your name and mention if you are representing an organization or attending on anyone's behalf. I will start and we will move around the table. Like I said, my name is Matanya. I also go by Maddie. I am the Vice Chair of the ADA Committee. I also am the director with a nonprofit locally called the Grow Group. We help individuals with gaining and maintaining employment. I will pass it over to Marion.
My name is my mic on? Oh no.
There you go.
My name is Marion Gwizdala. I represent the National Federation of the Blind and Advocates for Service Animal Partners.
Good afternoon. My name is Diane Luce. I'm an orientation and mobility specialist with Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision.
Good afternoon. I'm Carmen LeBou with Hillsborough County Government ADA Coordinator.
This is Danielle Jackson, Board Administrator here at HART.
This is Davidson Anastol with Legal Services. I'm here on behalf of Ms. Brenda Bailey.
Good afternoon. My name is Raquel Pancho. I'm the Americans with Disabilities Act Coordinator for the City of Tampa.
Good afternoon. My name is Melanie Williams, and I represent the HART Committee, the Greater Board of Directors on this ADA Committee.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean McCarthy. I'm Chief Operating Officer at HART.
Good afternoon. I'm Scott Drainville. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for HART.
Hello, everyone. Catherine Sanchez, Customer Service Manager, HART.
Vice Chair, if you could check online before we continue.
Thank you for the reminder. Is there anybody online that would like to introduce themselves as part of the committee?
Rosa Velasquez, Hillsborough County Sunshine Line.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. There'll be 3 minutes per speaker. The next agenda item is public comment. HART Legal Counsel, Mr. I don't want to mispronounce the name. Anastol, thank you. You are recognized for a statement. As a reminder, this section of the meeting is dedicated for public to provide comments. We ask the committee members to hold all discussions on public comment until the roundtable discussion or new old business of the agenda. Each speaker has 3 minutes to speak, which will be monitored by staff. Staff, please proceed with facilitating public comment.
That was the legal statement, but thank you so much. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's great.
Couldn't have done it better myself.
I apologize.
We did not have anybody pre-registered. I don't know if there's anybody in the audience if you want to ask. I don't see anybody in the audience either.
Okay. This concludes the public input section of the meeting. Next is approval of the meeting minutes from August 15th, 2024 ADA Accessibility Committee meeting. Are there any comments or corrections? I do have one correction. This is just a spelling error that I noticed on page 10 under information item. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, it says Ms. Sanchez, and Sanchez is spelled incorrectly, I believe.
Thank you. We will fix that.
Okay. Is
I was going to say move adoption of the minutes.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Okay. Next are presentations. Mr. McCarthy, HART Chief Operations Officer, will introduce the first presentation.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Good afternoon, members of the committee and Mr. Drainville. This presentation is in response to a request from committee member Williams for information on the type of vans that will be purchased by HART going forward. This presentation, Transit Research, Inspection, and Procurement Services, or TRIPS, will provide context on specific vehicle specifications, contracts, and safety. Ms. Lazara Stinnett, Center for Urban Transportation Research, you are recognized to present. Good afternoon.
I tend to speak a little bit fast. Oops. I tend to speak a little bit fast, so ask me to slow down if I start speaking too fast. Okay. Thank you. So a little bit of history about the TRIPS program. It was established by FDOT in 1995 to address concerns about the condition of the state agency fleets and to assist FTA's grant programs in using more on their funds more efficiently. The program aims to provide safe, reliable, and quality vehicles to the state agencies to ensure compliance with federal and state purchasing requirements and to conduct research to enhance the product performance. There are 7 elements to the TRIPS program. It is specification development, vehicle orders, vehicle inspection, performance testing, technical assistance, warranty support, and product evaluations. We will be reviewing a few of those in the next slides. The vehicle specification development. The TRIPS Technical Committee develops vehicle specifications for the RFPs, for the request for proposals. We use previous contract design criteria, recommendations from the Maintenance Consortium, advancements in technology, historical data, feedback from agencies regarding their preferences. FDOT and TRIPS collaborate to develop performance-based technical specifications. These specs help create efficiencies by reducing man-hours, which lowers the final cost of the manufacturing vehicles. Additionally, they enhance the overall quality of the finished products. We move on to the RFP development, where once we complete the technical specs, we begin developing the RFP. We ensure that all required certifications are including, such as Buy America, Title VI, Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, to name a few. We also established the proposal evaluation criteria, focusing on competitive pricing across an extensive list of options. We obtained the options list from the proposers. The service after the sale is assessed based on past performance. And however, we're implementing a star rating system to evaluate previous vendors through the database. New proposers are evaluated based on their performance in other states. Currently, we have 5 cutaway contracts for a total of 49 transit vehicles and 1 ADA minivan contract. In the coming year, in 2025, we will be releasing the new minivan request for proposal and an outsourced maintenance request for proposal. We go into the vehicle orders. The order process for vehicles is a bit complex. Once the agencies have been awarded grant funds, the program staff of TRIPS oversees the process. Agencies can review and select their desired vehicles based on price and available options using the TRIPS website and coordinating with the vendors of their choosing. After the order is submitted to TRIPS, we review it for accuracy and to ensure it meets the contract guidelines. Next, we submit the order to FDOT for their review of the grant compliance. Once the reviews are complete, the orders in the agency's purchase order are submitted to the TRIPS data center to the vendor. At this point, the vehicle is officially ordered and production begins once the chassis becomes available from the manufacturer. Next, we go into the vehicle inspection. The TRIPS team conducts bus inspections to ensure compliance with FTA standards. This process includes comprehensive inspection, water test, road test before the delivery to the vendor. A multi-point inspection and performance tests are performed on all buses by the TRIPS inspectors. The findings from the inspection are entered into the TRIPS data center. The data center created by TRIPS assists in capturing warranty claims, tracking fleet defects, monitoring the volume of vehicles sold, addressing inspection issues, and compiling agency data. There are 4 pre-delivery inspections that are conducted throughout the process. The first is the manufacturer's final finish. The second is a TRIPS pre-delivery inspection. The third is the dealer pre-delivery inspection, which is where they correct all the defects found by the inspectors. And finally, the agency has to do a pre-delivery inspection to ensure all the defects were corrected by the vendors according to the TRIPS inspection report. We also do performance testing and vehicle safety. The TRIPS has a longstanding partnership with the Florida State University for research and testing at their crash investigation lab. For more details and questions regarding the testing, you can contact Carlton Allen, who couldn't be here today. He is the program manager. We also work on product evaluations. The TRIPS program conducts evaluations process for new products that are proposed or agency concerns to validate and verify product performance through desktop reviews, performance testing, and demonstration of projects. That's all I have for you. Any questions? Here's a list of all our contacts, including the FDOT contacts and the TRIPS program contacts.
Thank you, Ms. Stinnett. Does the committee have any questions? As a reminder, please raise your hand to be recognized. Yes, Ms. Williams.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair. Thank you for the presentation. It certainly details the level of effort that's made to make sure we get the right vehicles in the right place at the right time, considering what we have to deal with from a budgetary standpoint. But this was very insightful and personally more than I had ever thought that took place in regards to getting the vehicle here. I do have one question. Once the vehicle's here and there's testing done, does that follow the vehicle, or once it's maybe 30, 60, 90 days after the vehicle is delivered to HART? So what happens after the delivery process?
The delivery to HART?
After it's delivered to HART. So I'm not sure if you're the person to ask questions, but this detail, answer this question, but there's a lot of detail on the inspection process as the vehicle is being purchased. And so once the vehicle is purchased, then you continue to look at the performance of them. Does that happen for ongoing?
Yes, we have extended warranty contracts with the vendors, and they're responsible for any warranty issues you have. You could contact anybody at TRIPS if the vendors aren't responding to you. Yes, and any issues there are, including like recalls or anything like that, we help you with those.
Thank you very much. Very insightful. Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Chair.
Thank you for your presentation.
Yeah.
Mr. McCarthy, please introduce the next presentation.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So as a follow-up to that presentation, this presentation is also at the request of Committee Member Williams relative to HART Plus's vehicle maintenance program. This presentation will be presented by Mr. Matthew Montijo, Technical Support Coordinator for HART Vehicle Maintenance. He will provide the follow-up on the vehicle maintenance program. Mr. Montijo, you are recognized to present.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. My name is Matthew Montijo. I'm the Technical Support Coordinator for Maintenance. Today, I'm going to be giving a brief insight into our PM program, what we call in-house, we call it PMIs, Preventative Maintenance Inspections. Current fleet challenges. Our paratransit fleet's useful life, as per the FTA requirements, is defined as 5 years, 150,000 miles. Currently, we have 61 units that have exceeded their useful life of the 78 that we currently have in service. Let's see. To address this, we have 14 new Ford Cutaways coming early Q2, and hopefully this will help us update our fleet and improve reliability in our service for our operators and passengers. Regulatory compliance. To meet regulatory standards, we adhere to guidelines from both the state and federal authorities. According to the FAC, more known as 1490, HART conducts safety inspections on all paratransit and bus operated by the agency. We ensure that qualified technicians check all safety and critical components during the preventative maintenance inspection, including brakes, steering, and emergencies, just to name a few. At the federal level, the FTA mandates that we develop a comprehensive fleet maintenance plan. This ensures that all federal funded vehicles, equipment, facilities are kept in good operation conditions. Following these standards is crucial for the safeguard and safety of maintenance compliance with its regulatory requirements. Safety-sensitive maintenance. Our maintenance program prioritizes critical safety-sensitive components as per FDOT requirements. This includes regular checks on brakes, steerings, emergency exits, lights, ADA accessibility equipment, to name a few, wheelchairs, and fire suppression systems. Ensure these components are functioning properly is essential for the safety of our passengers as well as our drivers. Our preventive maintenance schedule. All paratransit vehicles are maintained at 5,000-mile intervals. As the mileage increases from 5, 10, 15,000 miles, the number of items increase per PM. Each preventative maintenance service always does include the previous items, so nothing is overlooked as the vehicle's mileage increase. Let's see, unscheduled. Adhering to road calls. Even a robust preventative maintenance program, unexpected issues can arise while the vehicle is in service, leading to a road call. This occurs when a breakdown or a critical issue prevents the vehicle from continuing its route. Our maintenance team quickly responds to assess and, if possible, repair the issue on site. To minimize disruption, for example, some examples can include tire blowouts, engine failures, or problems with accessibility equipment like a wheelchair ramp. Each road call is thoroughly documented, allowing us to identify trends and adjust our maintenance strategies. For instance, after noticing an increase in transmission-related road calls, we enhance our strategy by increasing frequent transmission inspections and services during our preventative maintenance checks. By continuously refining our approach, we aim to reduce road calls, improve service reliability, and provide smoother experience. That's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions?
Does the committee have any questions? And as a reminder, please raise your hand to be recognized. Yes, Ms. Poncho.
Thank you for the presentation. I had thought that there was a requirement to cycle out the lifts every morning before deployment for the buses as well as for the paratransit, just to make sure that those are operable before they go on the road. Is that a...
That's correct.
Okay, excellent.
Every day, when the driver goes to the bus, their first 10 minutes, as they're doing the inspection, they cycle the buses, check the tires, do their pre-trip.
Okay.
And if they find anything, they apply it to their DVI, which hopefully we address it as soon as possible.
I think that would definitely, I mean, just for the public information, that really should be included in here, that the lifts are tested before they're deployed. I think that would give our community members some comfort that that's actually being checked before the buses are going out. So,
Okay.
thank you.
No problem.
Okay, yes.
Am I on here? I can't tell if this is on or not. One more.
There you go.
Okay. And those inspections before the vehicle leaves, does that include the annunciator?
Yes.
Okay. Does, the challenge that I'm finding is that sometimes, like for instance, right now the Route 8 and 46 are interlined. I was on a route where the 8 made its announcements, but the 46, after it changed to the 46, did not. Is there anything in the inspection that requires an inspection of the annunciator while the bus is en route?
During that introductory phase, when that driver's first meeting that bus and they're doing that inspection, that is part of the DVI inspection. From that point, they go to what we call the radio room, to the electronic room, and they're supposed to do their best to service it prior to that vehicle leaving. And at times, it can fail en route even though those steps are taken.
Yes, Ms. Williams.
Thank you so much for the overview. Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Chair. And thank you for the presentation. This is exactly what we needed to know and make the public aware of the actions that take place throughout the building of the van and then also the inspection aspect of it. And I do understand that we have some instances where the AC may not be working or there's water leaking. And this report tells me that those are things that are exceptions and not the majority of time. So thank you for bringing some more confidence and clarity to what we do as a team to make sure they're safe and they have working vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you, Mr. Montijo, for the presentation. Mr. McCarthy, please introduce the final presentation.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. The final presentation this afternoon relates to HART's travel training program. This is something that's been requested several times by the committee since the program was implemented, and we thank the committee for their patience while we got our new travel trainer onboarded at HART. Mr. Ernest Fernandez, our bilingual travel trainer, you are recognized to present.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ernest Fernandez. I'm the travel trainer here at HART.
Afternoon.
So a little bit about HART. We cover 1,000 square miles of service, and the service area includes the city of Tampa, Temple Terrace, Brandon, New Tampa, Northdale, and South County. We have 26 local routes, 4 limited express routes, 2 HART Flex routes, which include the East Fletcher and South County. We have the Tico line streetcar, which is an electric vintage streetcar on tracks serving Ybor City, Channelside District, and downtown Tampa. And of course, we have HART Plus, which is door-to-door transportation for people with disabilities that prevent them from using the HART fixed routes. So a little bit more about travel training. Travel training promotes the independent travel of youth, older adults, people with disabilities, and first-time riders by providing access to free training sessions. The training sessions give patrons the necessary confidence to pay for bus fares, understand bus routes, commute between important destinations, and also explore new points of interest. These are some of the travel training steps. So the first step is really starting from home or the location of your choice, depending on which schedule you have. And so a little bit more about that is, depending on whether you're traveling to work or school, we would usually start from home. So it's important to establish points of departure and arrival. With the second step, the training includes walking to the bus stop, and also travel safety tips. So this would include using the crosswalk with the signal, paying attention to traffic at all times, and being aware of one's surroundings and staying visible. The third step would be learning to pay with various methods and learning how to understand schedules. So training is mostly done now with the Flamingo card due to its ease. And the schedules are available in physical form, and when appropriate, we teach the available transit apps. Some other travel tips that we teach are landmark identification, bus accessibility features, and how and when to request a stop. So landmark identification is very important as it's easier than having to memorize street names and intersections. Bus accessibility features are important not only for the use of the trainee, but also for other customers. And how to request a stop can either be through pulling the cords that are available on the bus, the buttons, or verbalizing the request to the driver. And so the length and duration of the travel plan is customized to one's needs. So travel training can be as short as a day, or it can take up to a week. And all of this depends on the customer's learning abilities and how quickly they can achieve rider independence. And some of our trip planning tools, Google Maps is very helpful to enter the origin and the destination, also to find out travel times and to really customize the trip for each individual. Different transit apps help track the bus, view nearby bus stops, arrival and departure times, and you can also add favorite stops to that. The maps and schedules are available online or at transit centers. And HART customer service can also provide real bus information provided by the customer service representatives 7 days a week. A little bit more about customer service. The hours, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. The services would be HART Plus and HART Flex booking as well. For paratransit booking, it's 8 to 5 p.m., 7 days a week, and must be done 1 to 3 days in advance. Other things that they provide is route familiarization, route schedules, real-time bus location, and also for customer reports. So any concerns, suggestions, or accommodations can also be given. And there is the HART customer service number. And as always, safety travels. Thank you.
Does the committee have any questions? Yes, Ms. LeBou.
I didn't realize that HART does not service Plant City.
Not sure about that. No, we do not serve Plant City. No.
Yeah, so I can answer that. So we do not service planes, they're not in the HART charter.
Thank you.
Okay, are there other questions, Ms. Poncho, and then Ms. Luce?
I just wanted to thank HART for making sure that the service is back again, so thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Luce?
Yeah, very, very happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Hope things are going well for you.
Thank you, yes.
I just had a question regarding this HART customer service slide. When you mentioned that one of the services is route familiarization, what does that look like? Because I'm assuming that's being given over the phone. Can you give me an example?
Right, so if you're designing a route, they can help you do that by giving you not only the bus routes, but where they connect, right, where the transfer centers are, transit centers are. So it would be something that would be done over the phone. I like to teach the customer to be more independent and to use the apps if appropriate, but through customer service, that can also be achieved.
Yeah, very good. That reminds me of the early days in my career when that's how you planned a bus
That's how you
route.
did it, exactly.
Yeah.
Marion?
I've noticed that the automated schedule on the telephone isn't functioning. Is there a reason that that's been dropped, or is there a malfunction going on with that? But I tried to find out about a connecting route through the telephone system, and it wasn't available. It transferred me to customer service. And I had to wait for like 15 minutes to get the answer to my question.
Okay. I can't answer that. I don't know. Ms. Sanchez?
Thank you, Chair, Madam Chair. Yes, the IVR is one of those projects that we want to update in the future, but currently is outdated, so it won't give you that information. The current routes, detours, or interlining or connects, and that's why we would have customer service to help out with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that information. Are there any other questions from the committee? Okay, I want to just comment as well. It's nice to meet you in person, Mr. Fernandez. We met over the phone recently, and I am one of the members that was asking to have the travel training back, as well as many of us. So very excited to see that. I wanted to ask what relationships that you're building in the community in order to allow more people with disabilities specifically, and maybe just more people know about this service since it is back. I wanted to suggest maybe a presentation with the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation and also the Division of Blind Services to allow for more individuals to know that this travel training is an option, potentially before exploring HART Plus, because if we can have more individuals that are able to use the public transit system, and if, say, it doesn't work out because they tried it and, you had that training with them, then they can go to HART Plus and use that service. I think that could be a great way to get people involved with the program. And then I also wanted to ask, I apologize, I'll leave time for you to answer that, but how many people do you anticipate training per month? Or what would be, if you say, have a timeline, it takes 1 week for one person, what's your anticipation for maybe a month or a quarter that you'll be able to train?
Yeah, to the first question, I think outreach is important because since the program was offline for a while, a lot of people gave up on the program. So it's about getting that information out there that we're back online. And so a lot of community outreach, and we're in the process of doing that. And on the second, I would say it all depends how many people I can train per week. If it's 1 or 2 days of training, I would say 8 people a month. If it's a week of training, 4, you're looking at 4 people a month. Again, because the training is extensive, depending on one's disability as well. So with my REACH students, for example, a lot of times it's been a week of training. Sometimes a little bit over a week, because a lot of times after that first week, you really turn a corner in terms of the learning. So, sometimes they're not quite getting it by Thursday, Friday, but that Monday or Tuesday, things start to click. So it's really important to just go as much as I need to go with each particular person. And everyone learns at a different pace. So, we have to be patient and understand that not everybody's going to get it after a day or two. Some people, great, they get it, first day. And if that's the case, we can train more people that month. So it really just depends on, what the schedule looks like and who I'm training.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I think that HART, I really just want to thank HART in general for doing a great job with hiring. And I can tell that you're really passionate about what you do, and you're going to be really helpful for the community in getting this travel training taken care of. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Fernandez, for your presentation. Reports are next. Do we want to hold the chair's report? Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll hold that till the end when Arizona is here. Next is Basic Transit Infrastructure Update. Mr. Dwayne Brown, Project Manager 1, you are recognized.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dwayne Brown. I'm the Basic Transit Infrastructure Program Manager here at HART, and I will be giving you guys the BTI update for this for this quarter. So right now we have 4 projects in design. We have 2 in permitting. We got 1 in construction, and then we had 1 that we just finished. The project, we just completed a bus stop at 21st Avenue and 40th, where you can see the before and after pictures there. We put in one of our new shelters at this location. We have the project that's currently in construction right now is at 21st and 43rd. That's in front of our 21st Avenue facility. What we are doing there, we are going to be adding a bus bay there. That facility is this particular bus stop is a time point where we have a lot of our drivers who get off and they transfers and they do stuff like there, and the buses will sit and wait in front of the facility for a few minutes sometimes at that point. So we want that the road is a fairly straight road, and it has a lot of traffic that goes up and down there every day. So we want to try to pull the bus off the road in order to get that so it's safer for our bus drivers and for our patrons as we move through there. The ones that we have in design, we have Memorial Highway at George Road. That one is still in permitting. We've had a couple of issues where the county has come back and asked us for different things on the permit. So we're still working through that process. Hillsborough at 43rd, that one is going through FDOT. We are almost complete with that permit, and as soon as we get a couple of more documents in there, we should be getting ready to start on that one, putting that one into construction. The projects that we still have in design that just went into permitting this week. I did put this presentation together a couple of weeks ago, so it has some movement on some stuff. But this project is actually into permitting with the city, and that's we have 3 bus stops that are being completed for us on Main Street, at Willow, and on Main Street at Rome, and we're going to do those all in conjunction together. We have a bus stop, a brand new one that just went into design at 22nd and Bush. This is another time point. It's right by a church that has a large community where they do a lot of feeding of the homeless, and so the bus stop is fairly active. So we're going to try to get that adjusted and have it more functional. Then we have out in Davis Road, that's out up near the Amazon facility that we have up off of Harney and right up just in Temple Terrace. We're going to be doing bus stop improvements out there as well. We also are going to be one bus stop we're working with the city right now. We're going to be putting at the Al Barnes Park off of 21st Avenue. We are working with the city right now to get an easement for this project, and as soon as we get that easement, we're going to put that one into design as well. New shelter update. We have 72 of the 87 shelters that we have. We have installed them, and I think we have 3 new shelters that are getting ready to be put out here fairly quickly. We're working with our advertiser to get some of those stops that are our retrofitted shelters, and we're gonna replace those that are outdated, and we're gonna put new ones in, and they're gonna put new advertising out there on those. We did have a little bit of storm damage to a couple of shelters due to the hurricane, but we've gotten those replaced and fixed. So we're still working towards getting everything recovering from the storm. Any questions?
Does the committee have any questions? Yes, Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I noticed on page 46, there's a Bucks shelter, and the other would be the Lightning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's really neat. So do we do this on an ongoing basis in the certain areas, or?
So we have been working with our marketing to get the branding out that HART is that we want to be able to serve the community and also have something out there for our sports teams or whatever. One of the initiatives that we've started out, we're working with, we want to get with like some of the bus stops that are near the schools. And so we reached out to the Hillsborough School Board and asked them about, our first one we want to do is near the Middleton High School, and we want to do something where they are able to give us maybe their school logo, or they have a competition where they have artwork done by the kids or whatever, so we can get it out and put it onto the bus stops and have it on the bus stop, so they have a little bit of pride in their shelters or in what they have out there. So that's one of the things that we're looking forward to. We want to work with the community to get those, not just for our sports teams, but also for the community as well.
And what about the colleges? Have we
Colleges.
interacted with colleges? Is there a number of them that have bus routes around their
Yes,
location?
ma'am. So we are working with, USF right now, and they have a couple of bus stops where we need to do improvements on. We've requested through their, because the way their right of way and where their land is owned, we have to go through their special ordinance or whatever to get it done. So we've been working with them to get a couple of bus stops built over there. And as a part of that, we said we are willing to do something that's specialized for USF. Advent Help up in, is it Advent Help, St. Joe's, it might be, at the end of the route off of Northdale Mabry. They are looking to also, they want to expand. They were supposed to build us a bus stop in their original design, but they kind of got away with it, which a lot of developers do. Without doing it, without building it for us. But now they're coming back, and so we're asking them, hey, if you build us this, we'll be able to do a shelter and get your advertising on there as well. So it's something that we can offer to them.
Thank you. I think this is amazing because it definitely shows our pride when people come and visit Florida, since it's a high tourism rate, have a high tour population. And to see those shelters look this way, and it really shows our support for our Tampa sports team and Tampa Bay, rather.
Yes, ma'am. And so we also have, we have coming up the bus stops that's out in front of 21st Ave, the ones that we're doing out there, we're building with the new bus bay. We're going to have a specialized HART one. So our HART branded ones will go at that location as soon as they get it built. And we're expecting a new shipment of shelters to come in December. So I got 60 new shelters coming in December. You're welcome.
Thank you. Ms. LeBeau?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have an observation. Thank you for the presentation, by the way.
You're
Very
welcome.
nice. So I'm comparing page 42 and 46, and I love the, Buccaneers and their logos, and it's very beautiful. I was just wondering, based on page 42, whether there is a criteria for the location of the bench and what is easier to accommodate a wheelchair. Because I see the blue one is sort of in the middle, but not quite. The other one, there's enough space. But the 42, I could see it more accessible, so I was just wondering.
Okay, so I have to. So it's here. So she's asking. Okay. So for the bus stop at 21st Ave and 40th. So if you're looking at it, it looks a little bit weird because it is because of how the pictures were taken. But if you look at how we did the bus stop, so what had to happen there, we actually had to raise that bus stop up 6 inches. So before it was at grade, and so the bus stops that are at grade, although they're technically ADA accessible, but with our buses, because our buses, they used to kneel all the way down. Hydraulics, you take them all the way down to the ground, and when the ramp would come out, it would be enough. It would be enough slope for the wheelchairs to be able to get on there. But the buses don't do that anymore. They don't go all the way down. They just kneel. So when that happened, we had to raise the bus stops up so that when the ramp came out, it could still meet the ADA requirement to get that slope. So we had to raise this up. And then we also had to make it a little bit deeper. So although this picture kind of looks like that bench is sitting back deeper, it's actually right now, we made that bus stop deeper. And so the ADA requirement is to have a 5x8 pad so that people can get on and off. You have to have 5 feet wide by 8 feet deep. And so right where the front door is, where that bus comes in, there's a 5 by 8 there so that people who have accessibility needs can get on and off. So it's not, so it looks a little bit wonky, but it's still, it's within the ADA requirements.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have one comment as well, and I really appreciated your presentation. I wanted to say thank you for specifically assessing the needs of the riders in the Bush and 22nd area, and I think that's really important to be able to look at certain areas where there's a lot of riders and be able to make improvements like that, so thank you. I'm going to pass the torch back over to our chair, Arizona, and I think we're starting with the chair's report. All right.
You're welcome.
So what we have next is the and we go for the moving of it. Well, go to the table. All right. Good morning, everybody. I just want to say that I have a couple issues with the scheduler and the what they call it, the people that answer the phones between the driver and dispatch. There you go. Dispatch. If a driver is calling dispatch to ask them for some assistance on where to go because they can't find the address, how come it take them a long time to answer the phone? I was on the van yesterday evening, and the driver was looking for an address, and when he put the other button on the RTS, by the time we got there, they called. We already had found the person. I gave him my phone to look it up because the driver couldn't get a hold of this. And so then this driver was get a driver attitude because I'm on the phone. Well, I get that, but there's people who's waiting to get picked up. So if the driver can't pick you up, they don't know where to go. So that should be, you should have someone answering the phone and someone answering the drivers who asking for help. And with the scheduler problem is you got me going to that area, but you gotta pick up Where and Sun City Center or wherever. Why do I have to go all the way to Sun City to go all the way back to the area? It doesn't make any sense. The driver is doing back and forth. You're wasting gas, you're wasting time. With me, it doesn't bother me, but people that need to be somewhere else sometimes, they get mad at the driver. It's not the driver's fault. He just following what we got to tell him to do. So we need to work on that as well. And one more, yeah. Oh, we getting some new vans. No, we're not getting new vans. Because these vans that we riding, I wouldn't put my grandma on. These vans are bad. They're leaking water from the roof. The lift's not working properly. And a lot of drivers, they can't, it's hard for them to, I know they've been trained to do it, but for a woman to be trying to jack a wheelchair up my hand, that's a lot. So we need to try to get those vans, take them out of the fleet, or well, they're done. We got plenty of money We got money to buy money. Let's get these vans up to date. Because these are all out-of-date vans. Let's work on some of the driver's attitudes. We got a couple of drivers that really don't want to be here, but they here just for the money. So we need to, if you don't want to work, you complain about driving. Oh, I drive 18 hours. I mean, that's your job. That's what you're applied for to do. But if you don't want to drive, you need to find somewhere to go. Because don't take it out on us. So we just getting on and riding and go, we gotta go. Boy, you complain about, oh, you got 5 minutes to get on leaving. I'm gonna pull off. You gotta give people time to get to the door before you pull off. I mean, that's door service. But you complain about, you got 5 minutes and y'all ain't let's go. Or I'm leaving you. That's not the way to talk to a person who's 50 years old on the cane or somebody that was you. You don't want to, your mama like that, do you? That's better for everybody giving people the respect they deserve because they ain't have to be in that situation. They in that situation because they had to be. That's the way it goes. You gotta have respect for you and the person who ain't as well and go both ways. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Any questions?
I do. We had thank you for your feedback, Chair Jenkins. I wanted to ask, because we just had a presentation regarding the inspections, and I'm wondering how the description that Mr. Jenkins talked about, how do we miss that opportunity when we do have a robust inspection process?
So I can address that. So you heard about we do our preventative maintenance inspections, then we do our daily DVI inspections. But if there's a defect happens during the day, and if it's not a mechanical failure that the bus can't run, then we would leave it on the road. The driver would write it up. It would come back to the shop, and the shop would address it each night. The water from the ceiling could be an HVAC and AC issue where the drain is plugged and the condensation is leaking through the van itself. So there could be a lot of issues, but the challenges with the vehicles being old, we don't have enough vehicles to just keep changing them out. So we need to keep as many vehicles on the road as we can. To your point about ordering vehicles, we do have a number of vans on order right now, and it's always a one-for-one replacement. So as soon as those vans come in, we trade them out and we dispose of the old vans and we bring the new vans back in.
Because I thought we were supposed to be getting banned on that one.
We work off the 5310 formula funding, and we just worked with the county to get the match money for that grant. So we went to the board, I believe, 2 months ago. The board did approve it, so that's in process now. So
Because that's part of the problem with the drivers. Some of the drivers, they want to do their job right, but they can't because they got to deal with all the other crap. So they get all of us, and then we all get asked to everybody mad at everybody. I mean, this HART organization, I've been on this board for many, many years, and I've never seen this bad. This bad. This has got water in the ears. People don't want to come to work. People don't want to dress the way they're supposed to dress. They come to work in the flip-flop. They come to work with their pants hanging on their behind. They got the shirts hanging off. People don't want to see that. We gotta have pride in your job. But back in the day, we used to have a lot of pride. I don't know what's going on, but you got these drivers coming in here with the bedroom shoes on. The whole day with put a wheelchair on. They got all the little blocks and the wheelchair on their foot and the other block. You gotta do it. I mean, I know it's not your fault, but you do your fault. And Mr. McCarthy, the new guy, well, I know he's coming into a lot of mess at the time, but we gotta let you know so you can do it, you can bring me out. So this is my last meeting, and I don't want to leave it like this, because I take pride in being a part of an organization who take care of people with disabilities. And I've always been that way, and I always will be.
Chair, just as a time check, it is 2:30 and we do have more items on the agenda, just so you're aware.
And I would say, I definitely appreciate the feedback. We definitely want to make sure that we're represented well out there, so we appreciate this feedback, and maybe I'll bring you in the driver's lobby one morning and you can help me spot it out.
Then we had next over the Humble customer service update. We're doing that.
Thank you, Chair. Catherine, Customer Service HART, and I have the HART Plus updates and Yellow Cab updates. I'll start with the HART Plus on the ridership, and we have for August, September, and October. Starting with August on HART Plus, we performed 14,153 trips. For September, it was 12,270 trips. And for October, it was 11,540 trips. And for Yellow Cab, August was 6,390 trips. For September, 6,748 trips. And for October, 7,290 trips. And now on to the on-time performance. Our start with HART Plus for pickup. For August, it was 88%, and drop-off was 97%. For September, pickup was 86%, and drop-off was 95%. And for October, it was 83% for pickup and 94% for drop-off. And for Yellow Cab on-time performance, it's all for pickup. All 3 months, August, September, and October, was a steady 98%. And that's my updates. Does the committee have any questions? And as a friendly reminder, please raise your hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So, Ms. Sanchez, I want to ask about the pickups. I think you mentioned they were 88, 86% compared to the drop-off is 97. I guess you would drop them off if you have them in your van, right? But what happens in the lower rate for pickups? Are they not there? The patron is not there, or what causes the lower percentage?
Thank you, Chair. No, pickup is separate from the drop-off. That means that they were scheduled separately. So on the pickup, customers requested to be picked up at a time, not with a specific time to be dropped off. On the drop-off on-time performance is customers, they need to be at work or at school, and then they have the certain drop-off. So we're calculating them separately. For the drop-offs, we have a better form of tracking it, because the system tells us, according to the distance and the time of day and the number of trips, this is the time we need to pick you up. Regarding on pickup, there might be events that happen throughout the day that might cause a little bit more delays on our part. So we may tend to come and pick them up a little bit later. And of course, with storms and all things going on, that kind of affected it a little bit. So hopefully that
It makes sense. Thank you.
The difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. This is Diane. Do we have information about average ride times?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, Catherine from HART, thank you for bringing that up, Ms. Luz. We have all this information that we wanted to look into it, and while we were looking into the average trip time for HART Plus and Yellow Cab, so unlike the fixed route, HART Plus doesn't have regular scheduled routes, so we perform trips throughout the county, and sometimes we have to use the interstate, sometimes we have to use county roads, which we encounter school buses and ongoing construction. So because of all that, they might experience longer delays than they would be regularly. Also, ride durations might be extended as well if increase of demand. So after we do the manifest, if for some reason we need to accommodate for a customer, something that happened, again, all of that is going to contribute to raising the average. So because of all those factors, we wouldn't really be able to provide an average time for trips. It just wouldn't be an accurate reflection of HART Plus specifically. Thank you.
And you also look at the, when the kids go to school, they have a lot of people for school. So they eating, everybody else eating on that one bus. So you may have to ride a little bit to get the kids home. Really?
I think we're going to be after her.
Go ahead.
What are the standard regulations for the pickups? I thought that there was some requirements. What's the standard requirement?
Thank you, Catherine, for HART. We have a 30-minute window. So once the customer requests for a pickup time, let's say 9 a.m., we can negotiate 1 hour before or after from that pickup. But once we do set the 9 a.m., then 8:30 would be the ready time. So we have those 30 minutes to come in and pick them up within that time.
I'm not sure if there's actually, I think what I was trying to ask is, I thought that the regulations also have like a specific percentage of accurate amount of pickups. It's been some time since I've actually looked at the requirements. Is there like a 80% requirement of pickups being done on time? I thought that there were some regulations that kind of speak to that. Is there not? I don't.
Not necessarily a regulation, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Lavella.
Well, my understanding is, as far as the regulation is concerned, that there is a regulation that says that someone shouldn't be on a paratransit any longer than they would be on a regular fixed route for that same trip. Isn't that what the regulations state?
Yes, correct. That would, and again, that's why it's so difficult to have an average trip time, because depending on what the trips they want, if it's 5 miles, 10 miles, as long as that's comparable to what it would take on a regular fixed route, and that's including connections and waiting time, that's what we want to stay within that regulation.
Right?
This is Maddie. I wanted to ask if I could request for the committee to get these numbers potentially in a presentation and have some sort of comparison to like last quarter, or I'm a visual person, so I appreciate being able to hear all of this data, but for me, it'd be really helpful to have that represented. And I had a similar question with the requirements. I think that'd be helpful for us to know if there are regulations, can we have some sort of comparison to what the goals are? If there's not a regulation, maybe HART could have a goal for your standard, and that way we can compare it to what we would like to have.
Thank you for the feedback, definitely.
I did, thank you, Chair. So I'm probably not asking the right question then regarding average trip times. My main concern is when I have a client who goes in for an eligibility interview and they're told that they could be on a paratransit bus up to 4 hours. And I've had that feedback. That's pretty terrifying for some people. It's not doable for a lot of people. You know, from simple concerns like, how am I going to go to the bathroom? Or what if I get hungry? To, you know, what if I have a low blood sugar reaction or something? So I just want to make sure that what we're providing, what HART is providing, are reasonable ride times. So any information that can be provided, certainly, you know, that it meets the law, but I understand. I drive in this traffic every day. So I understand that the delays are there, but just want to I just want some input that we're doing right by people in terms of how long they're on board too. Just some indication, yeah.
Anybody?
I maybe would like to request that we could have the Heart Plus, I don't know what his or her position is, but the person that does the eligibility interviews, could we request a presentation from that individual so we can maybe ask those questions as well?
Is that Melissa?
Melissa and Judy, yeah.
My goal is not to put anybody on the spot, you know, I've just been told that, so I'm not hearing it firsthand. So I want that to be understood, but it's just, I've heard it more than once, so that's, yeah.
All right. And then more, again.
Thank you, Marion, for actually citing the regulation in regards to the amount of time on paratransit needs to be comparable to the standard bus route. For HART, is there a way to kind of measure that for your passengers, what the typical length of time would be if they were riding the standard bus, and have some comparisons to what their amount of time is on paratransit? Are you tracking that? Is there any data that's being collected on that?
Yes, we do have a standard, how many rides were 60 minutes, how many rides were 90 minutes, and so on. The average, if we can say, it's about 43 minutes. However, that still would not tell us, about the trip on the bus, because we would have to do individually trip planning. It would have to say from your pickup to your destination, including any connection. So it's a little bit difficult to compile all that information. We can just give an average, but it really wouldn't give an accurate picture of it. But the majority of our trips are within that 90 minutes, which would normally take on the regular bus.
Chair, if I may, for follow-up. Right here. Just, there's a lot of questions that are related to the same really thing, and it's all about technology. Our technology is very old. That's our major initiative. We're doing the CAT AV on the fixed route. We're in the process of getting the paratransit vans, all the technology updated, which will do all new scheduling software with on-time vehicle locations, enunciators. So we're in the process now of building that scope and identifying the funding to get all this technology. So we have all this data literally in our hand. It is very, time-consuming, and it's to get all this data, but we could get that, and we can bring that back, especially the metrics. We do that metrics every month, so we can bring these presentations back, so.
Anything else? All right, we're going to go to the follow-up.
Thank you, Chair. Let me go back on mine. So for the follow-up requests from the previous meeting, some of the requests were already answered in the presentations earlier, but for the full report for the committee's review, it's in the package starting on page 48. Okay, that's my updates. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Information report. And you are recognized. Who's that?
Mr. Anastal is right here, Chair. Right there.
All right, look at it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to the committee and Mr. Drainville. This is an information item on the committee membership. On October 17, 2024, the committee received a letter from HART informing all members of their membership status. In accordance with the bylaws, several committee members' terms are set to expire in 2024, and as outlined in Article 4 of the committee bylaws. In summary, 5 positions have reached their expiration date and may be open for advertisement. 4 of the positions are currently occupied by members who are eligible to reapply. Those members should have reached out to HART staff prior to this meeting to indicate if they were interested in continuing to serve as a member. On May 19, 2022, the ADA Accessibility Committee approved its most recent version of the committee bylaws. Article 4 of membership, Section B, outlines each committee member shall serve a term of 3 years. A committee member may serve up to 2 3-year terms. In an effort to maintain compliance, members were reviewed and staff compiled a letter providing membership status to the committee. The next steps in preparation for these transitions will be opening the application process on December 2nd, 2024, and the advertisement will run for 8 weeks through January 24th, 2025. The application and ads are attached to this committee review, to this committee review packet. At the February 2025 meeting, the committee will reappoint current members for a new 3-year term and review applications to appoint new members for any remaining vacancies. Elections will follow appointments at the February 2025 meeting. Any questions?
Any questions?
Does
Yes, McCoy.
does that mean then that the current members whose terms expire, they don't expire until February? Is that correct then?
No, they expired.
No, they are expiring this year. They will be expiring today at this meeting.
So in February, will we be short that many members?
Well, at the February meeting, there'll be appointments made, and the elections will be made at the February meeting. So those positions should be filled at the meeting conclusion.
So in other words, man, at the next meeting, we will have to do his election like we did last time. It ain't any question.
Ms. LeBeau?
Okay.
Thank you. Just a quick question. What happens after the 2 terms are served? Does the member need to reapply?
Well, once they've completed 2 terms by effect of the bylaw, they'll be ineligible to reapply. So that position will be vacant once at the conclusion of them reaching their term limits, and then that will be open for a new applicant.
And can a different representative from the state agency apply for the same position?
Yes,
Okay. Just that one person. Thank you.
yes.
Maybe,
I had a question, I'm trying to remember what it was now. So what would happen if the position, if we don't have enough applicants to fill the positions? Does the position just remain vacant?
It would remain vacant until we'd
We'd
re-advertise and have it potentially for new applicants to fill the position. It would remain open.
And so how many terms again expire where they're term limited?
2 3-year terms.
No, but now, currently, how many are term limited that in today and will not be coming back in February?
One is term limited.
1 term limited, and the other 4 members are eligible for a second term.
And 3 or 4 have indicated interest.
Yeah, and 3 of the 4 have indicated interest as well.
I believe this is my last meeting, but the rest of you guys, you can, vote again. Is it any good? Good?
Can a member reapply after a particular period of time? So if, for instance, Arizona is term limited, his term expires, is there a period of time in which he could reapply?
Under the current bylaws, it's a 2-term, so once the particular individual reaches that 2-term limit, they wouldn't be eligible to reapply.
So whoever get my position better know what they're doing. Go ahead, man.
I wanted to ask, you said that it was in the bylaws. It sounds like that maybe there's an opportunity to change those bylaws, but they were just changed in 2022. What was the rule before the 2022 change?
The rule prior to 2022, I am not aware of at this time. I could provide that later, if Danielle may know.
Chair, if I may, prior to 2022, I may be mistaken, but my understanding was there were no term limits. And so to ensure that there's the ability for fresh ideas and for more participation from diverse members of the community, that's why it was decided by the committee and unanimously approved for there to be term limits included in there.
Thank you.
Moving forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I believe a lot of us were part of that conversation. I would like to recommend that if the bylaws could be changed, that I do like the 2 3-year terms, but maybe if there could be a period of time to allow new members or other individuals, and that person could reapply in the future, And I'd like to, I don't know, open up that for maybe the roundtable conversation, or now, I don't know when that can be discussed, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
What was it?
I wanted to suggest that in the future, if maybe we keep the bylaws as 2 3-year terms, but maybe we add a period of time that someone else could participate, but say in the future, if you wanted to reapply for a term, maybe there could be a time frame where after this time you could reapply, or an individual on the committee could reapply
I
after
agree
a
with
time not being on the committee. Does that make sense?
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. My question is, if a member's terms have expired, and then there's a different representative for the same agency, let's say that representative is not able to make it to the meeting, there can be another person to represent them, and can that person be the previous member that was, or are they not allowed to represent the same agency?
Chair, if I may, at that point, you would be acting as a designee of the original member, which is allowed per your bylaws. You are allowed a designee, so you would be the designee of that additional member. So I believe that should be allowed.
Okay, and the designee doesn't necessarily have to be someone who has never been a member?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
One more question. And, all right. Let's see what we got next. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
This meeting will be February 25, starting at 1:33. We are now at the round table update on the discussion. Each member will have 3 minutes to share their update. Let's see. Let's go to Manny first.
This is Maddie. I do not have any updates, unless we want to open this conversation for the bylaw conversation, but I don't know if anybody else has any input on that.
Manny?
Yeah, I've got to put my earbud in so I can use my technology here. I have a few comments. I'll try to limit them because I don't want to take up too much time, but one of the more important things is for the past, I don't know, about a year or so, I've been working with Diane to do training of HART operators. And one of the most important things that I attempt to stress, and I think I get across to the operators, is the importance of the announcements and their requirement to make the announcement even when the enunciator is not working. I had a challenge the other day, last Friday. I was on the Route 8, and I want to say I'm really happy that the Route 8 and 46 interline, because I go to Brandon a lot, and that half-hour wait that I had at the mall prior to that was quite cumbersome, and really caused a lot of challenges in my scheduling. But as it interlined, as I was saying, the Route 8 made most of its announcements, not all of them, but when it came and changed into the 46, it did not make any announcements. Now, my challenge with this it's partly because the announcements weren't made verbally because the enunciator wasn't working, but even more so, the biggest challenge was it was a new operator in training with a trainer on the bus. And in spite of the fact that there was a trainer on the bus, there was still no announcement. So how are new operators supposed to really understand the importance of announcements when even the trainers are not training them to make these announcements? So I have a really hard time understanding that commitment to making those announcements when the trainers don't follow through. Let's see, I'm trying to get my notes up here. On a positive side, I want to say that I've been trying for several years to get an announcement placed back in at Palm River and 78th Street when the bus is inbound. And finally, it's been done, but the announcement is a little too late to use the stop before the turn. So the bus comes up 78th Street running northbound, makes an announcement at 78th and Palm River Road, but just before 78th and Palm River Road, there is a bus stop. And if the announcement isn't made until after that bus stop, then a person isn't alerted to the fact that there is that it's approaching the stop before 78th and Palm River Road. So the announcement's made a little bit too late and needs to be backed up a few hundred yards so that it makes the announcement in time for that 78th and Palm River Road so that a person can disembark before the turn is made and not have to cross two streets and come back quite a distance in order to get to that spot. One of the big challenges that we've been facing with HART's use of yellow cab and then yellow cab's use of Uber, and we've been addressing it. I've been talking to Brendan Love about this issue, is the fact that those of us who use service animals are facing challenges with Uber. It's not particular to HART and not particular to West Coast transportation. It's a problem we have all over the country, and not just with HART, but also with, I understand, the Boston property, I guess Colorado, Denver uses it, Dallas uses it, New York uses Uber, and so all across the country, Uber is... Yes.
Gotta cut you off.
I'm sorry?
I gotta cut you off. If you've been on 3 minutes.
I'm sorry.
You have 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes, okay.
You gotta cut you off.
3 minutes and I'm done?
Yep.
I'm done now?
Sorry.
Okay, so then I want to talk with Scott and Sean about that issue and how we can resolve it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
You know I only had 3 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, move
Okay.
Okay, this is Diane. I really don't have any issues to bring up. I just want to say that I'm grateful that HART exists in this community. I know that you all did so much to support the community during the hurricane and following the hurricane. And I don't know details, but I know that you were there and most likely meant a lot to a lot of people. So just want to say I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
All right. Yep.
This is Carmen. I concur with Diane. Thank you so much for the efforts.
Thank you. You good? You good?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. As a follow-up to the last meeting where we had a community member who was sharing reports that he was not allowed to ride the bus because he uses a wheelchair, he was not permitted to board. I just want to thank HART for your responsiveness. The community member had contacted me several times after that meeting, reporting the concerns, and I've not heard from him in recent months, so I'm suspecting that things are all well. When I contacted you guys, you were very responsive and fast to address the concerns, so I really appreciate that. And I do want to share a compliment also for Yellow Cab. I was in a meeting with a community member who had contacted Yellow Cab while he was in my office to arrange for transport to another location. And, he was just using the phone, and I was not purposefully listening along, but he was just making his arrangements. And the Yellow Cab's customer service was very supportive and kind and everything. So I just appreciated that customer service as well. So thank you.
Thank you. I don't have anything at this time.
McCarthy?
No, sir, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Chair, you stated twice now this was your last meeting, and I want to bring it, and I want to thank you for your loyalty and your dedication to this committee and all you do in this community to support this. So I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you much. Every day, I love what I do. I love it all out from day one. Good people, good service. I want to keep that going. Oh, thank you. My round table is, okay, I'm going to use you for help with that one. We have 2 events going on the 20th. We have the Mayor of the Lions of War Legend. We also have Gary of the Lions holiday party, same day. So those 2 events, we need to get those people there on time. So when they call to book it, they need to say, I need to be there at this time. Good?
Yes.
Yeah, don't get them, I want to give you the time. They say I need to be there by this time. Is that good?
Correct, Chair. If it's an appointment and they want to be there at a certain time, then that's what they want to let us know. And then we will, the system will tell them what the pickup is. And I always also recommend, give yourself a little leeway because many things can happen. So if you want to be at a location, give yourself maybe a little 15-minute buffer. But yes, it'll be
Yeah,
by the time that
I just bringing this up because we got the mayor who's going to be there and she has a very busy schedule. So we want to make sure that we honor her and wherever she honor us. So we need to make sure that we have people there on time to get ready. And that's all I have.
And then Chair, if I may, it is 3:02 PM, so we are running a little over. And I did want to mention that because we weren't able to get into a discussion about the bylaws, if anybody wants to send their suggestions to me, since you do have my email, we can definitely incorporate that and we can bring it for the committee once the new members are appointed next year for their review and everything.
Okay, but one more question. On the next meeting, that means I have to chair the next meeting until I get somebody.
Since we do not have a chair, we typically have legal open the meeting until there is a chair appointed.
Okay.
And then there'll be new members appointed or current members reappointed, and then we will move forward with that.
I just want to make sure that I'm be here on time. There you go. Thank you. And the meeting is now adjourned.
And happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Try not to cough.
Okay.
I'm getting over a little cold.
Yeah, the